Guys, we made it. What, the last 6 months?
If you've watched any of our videos, probably any of our videos at all in the last 6 months, you've heard us talk about the wedding or the wedding reception.
And it happened.
And it was a success. It was almost.
Almost an epic failure, but we pulled it out. Oh, Lord. Where to start? I guess.
Well, today is Tuesday.
Yeah, it took us.
The wedding reception was Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to recover a little bit.
Yeah.
But where does it start? It starts.
I guess Thursday night, the first family. Well, last Tuesday, Preston and Emily got into town.
From Hawaii.
Yeah. And that's who the wedding reception was for.
And they got married last December.
Yes.
December 21?
21. I keep getting it wrong. 20th or the 21st. Anyway, it was considered an elopement, even though direct parents were there. But they wanted to have a reception, so that's what we've been planning. Back here in Michigan, which is both of their home states. So Thursday night, family started rolling into town for us. My sister and her husband, and they have 4 children, arrived at 11:30 Thursday night.
Mm-hmm. From Utah.
Yep. You had Friday off.
I did. We woke up Friday morning and we hit the ground running. The tent people were supposed to come to set up the tent on Friday, and I needed to get that one final grass mowing of where the tent was going to go, get everything nice and short.
Yep.
And then mow the whole rest of the yard as well.
I was surprised that tent was huge. And
it was.
It took a whole crew a long time to set that thing up.
I think they had 8 or 9 guys.
Yeah. So anyway, it was cool to finally be able to see what we were going to be working with.
And it was huge. It was like there was going to be a circus in our backyard.
Yeah.
It was like a 40 by 60 tent plus a 20 by 20 tent for the dance floor area.
But it was good to see it in advance, because one of the things, like the lights didn't work. And so I had to call them the next day and say, you guys got to come out and fix these lights. And then the lights that they provided weren't enough, so it was scramble to find all the white Christmas lights we could find to hang up.
Yeah, we were borrowing them from everybody we knew.
Yeah. But anyway, Saturday, the whole family arrived. Well, I take that back. My dad and my stepmom, Kathy, arrived Friday as well. Friday late or early evening, I guess. Anyway, Saturday morning, I had to be at the airport at 5:30 to pick up my sister and her family from San Diego. So Saturday made for a really long day. I had prepped, we made cinnamon rolls Friday night so that we could have a big, huge family breakfast. Everyone was here. Preston, Emily, Cam, Claire, everyone. And we had quiche and fruit salad and cinnamon rolls.
It was a massive amount of food for a massive amount of people.
Yes.
There was a lot of people in our house.
I had a very steep learning curve on how to cook for a crowd, which I didn't do all that well with, but we somehow pulled it out.
So after breakfast, we had a lot of help.
A lot of
Everyone
hands.
who was here offered whatever you need done. Tell us, we'll get it done. So the tent delivery rental place, they drop off all the tables and chairs for you, but then you have to set them up how you want them, which was quite an undertaking to set up 150 chairs and all the tables where they need to go and move things, rearrange things, and also set up the lighting. Because some of the lighting in the big tent, that was a challenge.
Yeah, well, the poles, how high was that?
It was a good 20, 25 feet tall poles, and we wanted lights way, way up going across the center of the tent. So we had to go down, borrow the neighbor's ladder, and then Andre and Russ, they were the climbers for us, and they climbed up there and tied off ropes and hung lights.
And one of the things that I ordered with the flower arrangements, I just assumed for some reason that tents come with like a big ridge pole. that didn't happen. So the guys had to run like a big, huge rope across. And luckily you had the perfect rope to use
I
that
did.
still looked decorative. That I could hang big, huge hanging flower baskets from when they show up on Sunday.
Right. And I think it was about, we were starting to get to the point where we felt really good about Saturday. It was about 2:30. I was getting worn out, and I grabbed my hammock out of the barn, and I took it back into the woods, into our food forest, and I set up my hammock, and I thought, I'm going to crawl in here, away from everybody out in the woods, and I'm going to take a nap for just like a half an hour. That's all I need. And I had just gotten inside, and I got cozied up, and I felt this wind pick up, and the wind picked up, and I looked up, and there was no more sun shining. It was black clouds coming, and it poured rain.
Well, it blew in so hard and so fast. The kids were all out playing. All of a sudden, everybody's like, storm's coming! And they ran as fast as they could, and it literally poured buckets. But it only lasted like maybe 15 minutes.
It was done quick. And then didn't the sunlight come back
Yeah,
out?
it
I think
came-
the sun
yeah.
came back out, and we got out our phones, and we're like, okay, let's do one final
Forecast
check for Sunday. Let's see what things are going to be like. And it was perfect.
Like no rain
10%
Sunday.
chance of rain, 0 inches of precipitation.
Yeah.
It was like, okay,
How did
tomorrow's
this
going to be
change
awesome.
so amazingly in our favor? So we got everyone together and said, let's take these walls down off the tent. Because the tent got set up with walls, and it kind of ruined that whole like farm wedding vibe that you're going for, because you can't see the farm. So we got those down pretty easy.
They're heavy, but we got them down.
And put away, and everything was looking great, right? Everything's looking great.
Right. The amount of rain that we got, we were a little concerned about how much rain that we got affecting our parking areas, because we wanted some people to park in our front yard, and then we cleared out an area in our back pasture, which was also going to be a significant portion of our parking. And we felt pretty good that it would probably dry up enough that cars could drive back there, trucks could drive back there, and everything would go good.
Yeah. So we thought. So I had one goal though Saturday, that I wanted to be done with all the decorating and everything that had to be done by noon. So all of us could relax, take a quick nap if we wanted to, take showers, get ready without being rushed. So
On Saturday or Sunday?
on Sunday I meant.
Okay, Sunday.
So I, did I say Saturday? Oh, I meant Sunday. So Preston and Em showed up bright and early, maybe like 8:30 or so, with all the table linens. And Saturday we had brought up all the boxes of decoration stuff from the attic and from the basement and from the shed. So we were ready to go. We got going on setting all the tables, doing all the final decorating. Then Todd's cousin Sarah, who was our florist, showed up and with all the flower arrangements, and she had to make 2 trips. So we were doing all that. And
She did a good job.
She did an amazing job. And we actually got everything done. I think it ended up being like 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock we wrapped up, and the reception wasn't until 4.
Right. Because
So
that was, I think, right around 1 o'clock was like, okay, everything's good. I can go take a shower now and get dressed, get ready, calm down a little bit.
you found me laying on the floor resting my back. I went up and laid down on the floor in the bedroom just to rest my back and just kind of like calm down a little bit. There, there's just so much anxiety to get everything just right. And, I'd been talking to him like, okay, pretty soon you probably need to have your parking pre-job brief discussion with the guys that are going to help be, coordinating traffic flows and where people are to park.
Kind of how to park. That way we maximize the space.
Yeah. And I ended up jumping in, starting getting ready, maybe like 2:30 or so. I jumped in the shower. I get dressed, I come downstairs. Cake showed up. That's what it was. The cake showed up and the donuts at like 3 o'clock. It is pouring rain.
Massive pouring rain.
Massive pouring rain. And the forecast was just like that, the flip of a dime, gonna pour rain from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Now, mind you, we had taken all the walls down off the tent. Wedding reception starts in an hour. People are gonna start showing up early.
People were starting to show up early. Like my parents were showing up early to see if we needed help.
So I'm like yelling in the house, whatever men are here, I need your help outside now to get these walls up. I was like on task, but freaking out. My dad could see it in my face. He's like, honey, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry this is happening, but this is what we've been dealt with, and we're gonna have to just make the best of it.
And our yard absolutely flooded. Like to the point where it was like all of our parking for we could probably fit 30 or 40 cars in our back pasture in that area. Total mud. Zero chance of any cars parking back there.
Even our front yard.
Our front yard was pretty much the same case. I felt a little better about trying to park some people in the front yard because there's so much more sod layer there. But we ended up having to resort at as the first...
Stop, Rusty.
As the very first car pulled in the driveway, go to plan B for parking.
Sorry about that, but we live on a farm.
Plan B for parking, which was half a mile down the road, there's a church, which is also a school. And we had made arrangements with them earlier in the week that if we run into a catastrophic type situation with rain, can we have our guests park at your church? And they said yes, absolutely. So Cameron was out at the end of the driveway with his raincoat on, and as cars would pull up, he would give them instructions on where to go. We had 4 different vehicles designated as shuttle vehicles. We're running people back and forth from the church to our house.
Yes, and then the guests were so understanding. It was like completely that moment of the first car pulling up where we had to say, we got to make a decision. Are we rerouting traffic? Are we rerouting our guests? And we ended up, for probably the first 45 minutes to an hour, my husband, my father-in-law, my son, and Emily's brother, and Nick. So Cameron, Nick, Byron, you, and Michael were all on traffic rerouting duty, either rerouting people or shuttling people back and forth.
Yeah, it got to the point where certain vehicles would come, like pickup trucks and things that I knew were 4-wheel drive. We did start parking some people in our yard, and it worked out okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, as the people were showing up, we thanked them for their understanding for the last minute snafu. And the party got started.
Yeah, they were understanding, and they were like, no big deal. Guys can't control the weather.
Yeah, but we ended up having, I would say, right at 140 some guests arrive. And it was a tremendous event. I would say probably once I sat down for dinner, I finally calmed down.
Once everyone was there, they were under the tent, everyone settled in like it wasn't even raining.
Yeah, and it did lighten up a little bit later on in the evening.
Yeah, towards the evening.
Yeah.
One of the first things we did was serve dinner. There was some appetizers, like what was it, cheese and crackers
and maybe some fruit. I didn't get any.
Yeah, I didn't either. I was doing parking stuff.
Yeah, and then dinner I think was served about 5:15.
I don't know what kind of beef that was, but that was really good.
Yeah, they had some kind of huge beef being carved off of oh my gosh, it was heaven, and mastacholi and chicken and mushroom risotto, and it was
And the
just,
caterers, they were really nice.
they were wonderful.
Anytime they had questions, they came to us. What should we do with this?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the night when we're cleaning plates, what do you want us to do with all the leftover food?
Oh, that's something that we really haven't focused on about this whole thing. Is it was intended to be a zero waste wedding reception. So the plates and the utensils and the napkins were all compostable, like bamboo and soy-based utensils, and the gifts that the guests got were like mason jar, drinking glasses with metal straws, and what else?
Well, like the caterer said, like when we bring plates back, we can put the plates in your compost bin, but what do you want us to do with the food? So we gave them 5-gallon buckets, and they filled 2 5-gallon buckets completely full of food.
Food scraps, yep, that we've just been feeding to the chickens here and there since the wedding ended. And then all of the beer bottles and pop cans are going to the Humane Society for donation.
Yep.
So now there was some plastic wrappings and stuff that things were in, so we had a little bit of waste, but not much.
Right. Another big hit, that photo booth.
Oh yeah, we got a photo booth. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
And this guy does a good job. His props are like top-notch props. He has like everything that you could possibly think of to wear to go into a photo booth and act silly.
Yes.
He has it all, so.
Oh my gosh, me and my sisters got in there. We were cracking up laughing, having. So it's the first time all 4 of us have been together in 14 years. So we just hammed it up big time and made some good memories. All my nieces and nephews. Well, we saw a stack of like photo booth slips in there like this deep because they were having so much fun. And then the photo booth guy in return makes a scrapbook for Preston and Emily of everyone's photo booth adventures. So that was a lot. That was a huge hit.
Yeah, very cool.
Preston, Emily, like to come up and touch your cake?
Touch your cake. Yeah. All right. As your dad would say, touch your cake. Touch your cake. Yes. Look at it.
I don't know if it's a different line. I'm gonna walk around this. I don't. You're supposed to do it for dinner.
Oh my gosh, we had so much dessert, guys. I don't know if Todd got a clip of it. If he did, we're going to show it in here. But we had a 2-tiered cake, all those cupcakes, sugar cookies, and like 75 donuts. At the end of the night, I kid you not, there were 6 cupcakes left and 3 donuts. That
Really?
was all that was left.
Holy cow.
I mean, Nancy, Emily's mom, had a great idea to have to-go boxes for dessert.
Oh, cool.
So that was a smart idea. So there wasn't a lot wasted, and I think some people did take to go.
Good.
But I was impressed by how little dessert we actually. Hey, stop. Hey. And then it was time to cut a rug.
You guys were getting down.
We had so much fun.
We rented some like DJ equipment, basically, like some speakers and a little mixing board and a subwoofer.
Yeah, and Emily.
Microphones.
Yep, Emily made a playlist.
Yep, worked out perfect.
And oh my goodness, it was dance the night away. My thighs are still killing. That's such a good workout.
Yeah.
I haven't danced in a long time.
They call it dancer size or something
Yeah.
back in the 80s.
So, I mean, it was probably about 9:30 that we really noticed that just like the key players are still hanging around at the wedding, like the closest of friends, the closest of family. Most of the guests had already left.
Right.
So we felt like it was like just a natural time that we could cut music and start cleaning up without having to tell people, hey, we're done.
Right.
Everyone that stuck around was around for the cleanup crew. So we probably spent till 10:30 cleaning up. I mean, we had the hugest cleanup crew here sticking around, not being asked. I mean, it was so wonderful.
Probably 30 people.
Yeah. And we got all the way down to tables broken down, linens folded up, everything.
Yes.
And then Preston comes up to me. He's like, hey, Mom, we're still doing a bonfire? I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm exhausted. And I don't know that it'll light after all that rain. Oh, I can get it to light. Well, who's staying? Here come all of his friends. We're staying.
Yep.
So they stayed out. They got that bonfire lit. And I think they stayed out till probably midnight or so.
Yeah, 12:30 or so. And
Yeah.
they had the fire blazing.
Yeah, they had a good time, though.
I think he used some accelerants.
Yeah. But we want to thank you guys so much for being patient with us these last 6 months. I know you're probably annoyed by let's just get this wedding reception thing over with by now. It's all we hear about.
Yeah.
But it's been a pretty big deal for us to get ready for. Next week is Abigail's graduation party. And then I'll be back to regular homesteading events. We can't wait to share those with you next.
Plus, we're going to relax, too.
Yeah. Anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed some of the footage that we did capture to share with you from the big day.
We really wanted to, we've talked about it so much, we really wanted to close the loop and show you the results of all of our work.
Yeah, sorry if it's a little hodgepodgey, but we did absolutely no vlogging during the weekend.
Right, none.
So I think in retrospect, we're like, oh, this could have been so much better if we would have taken time out to vlog it. But anyway, we want to share with you what we got and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Was it a success? We think it
think
was.
so.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.